Hey guys, it's Kat and I'm back today for my hashtag Team Project Pan 2020 update. This is my August check-in, which is a recap of my progress throughout July. I'm going to say there's a little bit of progress, but not as much as I used to have because in Melbourne, we've had a second wave of COVID-19. And so we've been in lockdown at the moment for 5 weeks and we've got another 5 weeks to go. Hooray. It's also illegal not to wear masks in public. So when I am allowed to leave the house, which is generally just to go for a walk or to go to the supermarket, which is the highlight of my week, I have to wear a mask. So lip products are pretty much, I have not been wearing them. And yeah, mainly the progress is on skincare, I think. So it's been slow going and that's the reason why, unfortunately. Now, because we've got locked down for another 5 weeks, I presume that the next check-in will also have very little progress. So what I'm actually going to do is show you the products that I've made progress on. There are a couple of things that I've used up. So what I normally do, and I'll do it again in this video, is talk about those things first and tell you what I'm rolling in. And then I might skip over some products that I just haven't been using. There's no point taking photos of them or showing you progress when there really isn't any progress. So if you are new here and you're not sure what hashtag Team Project Pan is 2020, it is pretty much a year-long rolling project pan where we pick products, like my desk is covered in products at the moment, pick products from sort of each category of makeup and some skincare products, some hair care products. And what you do is you try to use them up. And once you have used them up, you swap something else in to take its place. And the reason you do that is that you just keep things sort of moving and you keep using up products. And then every quarter we do a refresh where you can take out products you're not using, put in new ones, which is what my last Project Pan video was. It was a quarterly refresh. And the whole goal is to just start using products that you don't really want in your collection anymore or that are coming close to being sort of out of date. And so you can use them before they go off. So that's sort of the concept here. So let's get into the products that I have used up. There's only a few. All right, the first one is a body lotion. I have been going pretty ham with body products. We're in winter in Australia and we do have heating on a lot. So, you know, body products are really easy for me to use up. This is the Lush Once Upon a Time body lotion. You can see that I've had it in the project for quite a number of months. This was where I was at last month and now it's completely done. So you can see there, it is completely done. All right, what I'm going to introduce instead of that is this body lotion from QV. It's the skin lotion. It's been around in my bathroom for a long time. This is a little bit too thin in consistency for what I like to use, but it's good for all over the body. So if you don't want anything too heavy on like your shoulders or your chest or something, so you might break out, this one is probably a good one, but on my legs and arms, it's a little bit too thin. So I want this gone. It's about up to here. I will mark it. So it is pretty full. So this is a 250 ml bottle. So this will take me a little bit of time to use up, but that's what I'm working in. I've also used up my primer. Now, funnily enough, oh look, there wasn't too much to go, to be fair. So last month I was up to there, so it was easy to get down to the bottom. Sometimes I will find myself wanting to do my makeup and I'll put this on and I'll put it on and I'm like, yep, ready to go. And then something like baby starts crying or wakes up or something happens and I end up not doing my makeup. So sometimes I just wear this during the day. So there is a little bit left down the bottom. I did try to open this up and use the sort of stick thing, the tube, the pump, to scrape out as much as I can, but there is like a chunk down the bottom. If I got a spatula, I could easily, or if I rested upside down, I could easily probably get another week's application out of this. But to be fair, I don't really like it. So I'm happy to just use it as it is. It's not pumping out. I can't get any more with the pump wand stick bit. So I thought, look, this is good enough as done. What I'm introducing instead of that is the Ole Henriksen. This is the Banana Bright Face Primer. It's just a little mini one, I believe. It's a 15 ml version. I thought this is a nice one because it's quite a hydrating, dewy primer, and that's fine for winter, but I do have oily skin. It won't really work for me in the warmer months. So I thought, while I do need a bit more nourishment and skincare properties, I'll start using this one. And because it is only 15 mils, which what was my last one at? This one was 45 mils, so it's 3 times bigger. I think this one is good because right now when I'm not wearing makeup too often, I'm pretty much only wearing makeup maybe twice maximum 3 times a week, at least I will start seeing some progress on a small primer. So that's why I picked this one. It does have vitamin C, which should be good. So yeah, this I've only used I think 2 or 3 times. So I might have to weigh this to get a measurement of my progress, but I'm keen to start using this because it looks like it's quite a manageable one to get through. Similar to the primer, days where I'm not wearing makeup, sometimes I still chuck a little bit of powder on because I am quite an oily person. So my Innisfree No-Sebum Blur powder I used up. I was weighing this, but there's no point weighing it because it's done. I did take out the stopper. I pulled that out earlier this month and it is completely done. So since I do have oily skin and I do even use a bit of powder just on a daily basis, it's really easy just to get a brush and just put a little bit of powder on your T-zone. This was one that I used up pretty quickly. And what I'm introducing is actually my Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This is the transparent version. I will take a photo of where that's at. When I actually thought of what to introduce into my project, this has been in my collection for a long time. It was actually untouched. So I've been using this the last week or so, and I've actually almost taken off the pan imprint. So they do have like the Rimmel logo on the pan, and even just using this for a week, I've taken that logo almost entirely off. So yeah, this one I should get through pretty quickly because I do use powder pretty quickly. This is 14 grams, but I thought this is a fun one because I have been doing a lot of loose powders and they're sort of harder to track, whereas I really like hitting pan and seeing the pan get bigger. So I thought, this time around, I want a pan product. Last month, I also introduced, instead of a new skincare product, I introduced a bunch of different samples. And what I'll probably do is at the end of this video, I will recap how I went with the samples and the new samples I'm rolling in. So let's start with things that I finished up and end with things that I finished up. So samples will be at the end. All right, on to things that I've made some visible progress on. First one is actually my finishing spray. So this is the Uemura Skin Perfector Shobu scent. Now when I started it, it was right up the top, so it was right up there, and now hopefully you can see it's down to here. So the pink mark is where I was up to last month, and down there is where I'm up to now. So I don't know if you can see that properly, but I've made pretty much steady progress. I just use this sometimes again just to sort of refresh my skin, so I don't always wear this just with makeup. Sometimes I wear it without makeup. So I am making some good progress on that. Still at this rate though, I've got, you know, months and months to go, probably like 3 or 4 months to go. But I'm just happy that I'm making some progress because realistically in this climate, it's hard to make any progress. So that is great. The next thing I'm making some good progress on is my NARS lip balm. So this is the Afterglow lip balm in the shade Orgasm. I did explain that the reason I'm using this is because I don't really like the color of it. It's too pink for me. So it's one that I'm just using as a normal sort of lip balm. And I keep this next to my computer and I use it just on a daily basis when I want to put a little bit of, the good thing about this is it does look quite nice on the lips. If you like pink, I'd prefer a different shade, but it is quite nice and hydrating. I will put a comparison up there because it's hard to see this far away, but I can tell you that I've used this quite a lot and I have made progress. So I'm happy with that. I sort of feel like if I keep going the way I'm going, especially since this doesn't look, it's a bit frustrating. It does, since there's an angled, I'll zoom in a second and show you what I'm talking about, but because there's an angle in the tube, it won't come out all the way. So there's always going to be a little bit that I can't access, which is a bit frustrating. So hopefully you can see what I'm talking about. Because of that angle, you can't really get right down to the bottom when it comes to back here, which is going to be really frustrating. So I reckon I'm going to be done with that soon because look how close that is to the top. Like I can't, yeah. Another thing I've made some decent progress on is my blush palette. Now I will zoom in and show you the pans close up, but I wanted to address the fact that I did repress some of these blushes. So I'll put on the screen what the progress was at last month when I checked in, and then what it looks like after I've repressed it. So yeah, I did that because it's so much easier to access the products when they're not just a ring around the outside. So I repressed this highlighter, I repressed this blush, and I repressed this highlighter down here. So that's what I'm going to be comparing these two is a repressed photos. All right, so we're close up. Hopefully you can see that I've made some progress on this blush up here. So that pan has gotten a bit bigger. I don't know if you can see too much progress on the highlighter. Probably not, but that's the one that's been repressed. This blush was repressed and I've hit pan. I've only just hit pan on that in the last day or two. So that is starting to thin out, which is good. Then on the bottom side, you can see that I've hit pan on this blush. So this is a sort of bronzy, rosy toned one. I sometimes use this as like a bronzer and blush in one, and you can see I've hit pan, whereas last month I hadn't. And hopefully you can see that compared to the photo on the screen, I have sort of worn away a little bit of the edges of this highlighter. This is the one I'm wearing today. This is the one I've been sort of focusing on because it suits this weather, but I don't wear highlighter every day. But when I do, it's usually that one. All right, while we're up close and personal, I thought I'd show you my bronzer duo from Jouer. You can see that this is the one I've been wearing the most. Again, I probably only use this a couple of times a week, but I have worn away that design. So you can see that there's got a pan design there. This one on the lighter side has been worn away, and this is the one I wanted to use up because it's too light for me in the warmer months, so I wanted to use it up in winter. And then there is a photo on the screen of where this was at before. So that one I've made most progress on. Onto eyeshadows, this is my Wet n Wild single, so you can see that I am making progress on this. Again, I've only worn this probably a handful of times, but because it is getting quite thin, the pan is getting bigger at a faster rate, which is really good. So you can see the progress on the screen. Not much progress on this Illamasqua Justify eyeshadow. I have been using it a little bit, but not too much. I'll explain why in a second, but I don't know if you can see progress. I couldn't really see any when I was looking at the photos before, but there we go. And that's the same as my Colourpop Super Shock shadow. So I hit pan on it last month, and I think the pan is just getting cleaner. So there's it's a little bit more noticeable, but I've only used this a couple of times, so I can't expect too much. Now, the reason I haven't made much progress on my eyeshadows is simply because I've been playing with a few palettes this month. So I did mention in my favorites, I mentioned a couple of palettes that I've been using. So whenever I do put makeup on, I've been reaching for new palettes. Today, I've actually started a review of the Natasha Denona bronze palettes. That's what I've got on my eyes. So I've sort of been wanting to play with eyeshadow palettes that aren't in my project pan. So I've only really used my project pan eyeshadows maximum a handful of times. And because of that very reason, I've got some varying results with my Laura Mercier Caviar sticks. So I introduced these last month. I mentioned that there is a shimmery one. So this one is in rose gold. I want to use this as a primer because I don't really like the color on its own. And I will actually put on the screen an update of how much I've used because I actually have used quite a lot of this, and that's simply because I've been using this as a primer. So under the eyeshadow palettes that I've been playing with, often I use this, so it's got most use. When it comes to the shade Au Naturel, which is a matte one, and it's one that I really like using just on like a minimal makeup day, I haven't made as much progress on this simply because again, if I'm wearing makeup, I'm sort of wanting to wear an eyeshadow palette. So this one, I'll have a progress shot on the screen. I've only used this a handful of times. Again, I don't like using this as a primer because it looks so nice on its own that I just want to use it on its own. All right, let's talk about base products. When it comes to my Hourglass Vanish Seamless Finish Liquid Foundation, last month I was up to that pink line, and I think I'm just below it now. So I have made a little bit of progress because I am wearing it today mixed with my BB cream, and I tend to do that when I'm filming. So I might film once, maybe twice a week. So that's when I pull this out. But once or twice a week isn't enough to really see much progress on this because I don't think I've used this more than 7 or 8 times in the past month. So I did scrape down a little bit. I almost feel like I can mark right under that line. So the progress is very minimal. I will weigh this one because I'm curious to see how I've gone with this. All right, so last month that was at 51.61 grams, and now it's at 50.67-ish grams. So just less than 1 gram that I've used of this. So it's not much at all. The prior month was about 3 grams of progress. So I've slowed down a lot. Last month I did introduce a Bare Minerals. This is a powder foundation, so we can see how much progress I've made on that. All right, last month it was at 70.57 grams, and now it's about 69.8 grams. So again, really not much progress on that. I introduced a stick foundation. I've used this again, maybe only a handful of times. This is a really nice one just to throw a little bit on, like the smallest amount, blend it out, and you've got a little bit of coverage. This is sort of what I wear if I'm going to the shops or a doctor's appointment and I want just a little bit of my redness and whatnot covered. So I really use the smallest amount of this. I'll have a progress shot on the screen. One thing I have been consistently using, so I wonder if there is much progress to this, it's my concealer from Maybelline. Some days, even if I'm, again, not wearing a full face, I just put a little bit under my eyes or around my nose. So that was at 12.96 grams, and now it's at about 12.29 grams. So again, not much, but a little bit of progress. Two things I consistently use is my brow pencil and my mascara. So you will be able to see, I was looking at photos before, I love this brow pencil, this Benefit Goof Proof Brow Pencil, but it's in the shade, what is it, 2.2. It's in the shade 2, which is a lot lighter than what I normally go for, but because I'm wearing less makeup, it sort of balances with my look a lot better. I've got it on today, and you'll see a photo on the screen. I have made progress on this because even if I'm just going for a walk, sometimes I'm wearing sunglasses and a mask, no point wearing any makeup, but I sometimes run this through my brows really quickly so I don't look like I've got no brows. Oh bugger, I forgot to write down what my mascara was at last month, so I'll have the last month's update on the screen there, but it's currently at 33.55 grams. So hopefully I've made a bit of progress because I do use that. Mascaras are really slow going though, so it is what it is. The next things that I've seen tiny bit of progress, this is my hair product. So this is the Kristin S leave-in conditioner. I do use this. Again, I don't have much hair. I wash my hair like twice a week. So as you can see here, the progress is really, really slow, and I'm making similar progress. So pretty much under each line, I make a new line. Like I'm not making like heaps of progress, and I don't think I will be able to unless I have a lot more hair, which I don't have. So this might be one that I will eventually take out of the project just because it looks like at this rate it's going to take me 2 years to use it up. All right, good news. I've made a small amount of progress on my perfume. Now, last month I didn't mark this because I explained that I wasn't using it since I've had a baby and I don't want to bombard my baby with fragrance. Someone in the comments suggested, and that was a really great suggestion, so thank you very much, was to spray it in the air and then walk into it so it's not as like directly on your skin and really strong, which I've done I've probably done a handful of times in the past month. I spray like 4 sprays in the air. I sometimes use it as a room spray as well. So I like go and I just sort of walk into it and there's a little bit of fragrance on me, not like really heavy fragrance, which is really good. Now, I was having a look, and on the mark, so the mark is down there. Where it sits at the moment is just below the mark, so I will probably mark it a little bit with nail polish because I can actually mark it this month. But I was having a look and I didn't realize that the glass base, I thought the glass base was down here. It's actually up in here. So I've got the smallest amount left. Like if I hold it up, it's just this like little tiny like circle of product that is gathering there. So I will be able to use this up in the next week or so. I thought I had heaps more to go. I was like, this is going to take me a couple of months. It's not. It's actually going to take me probably a couple of weeks. Probably even if I use it like today, I'm almost done with it. So I will be able to test a few fragrances out over the next weeks and introduce a new one next month, which I'm really excited about. All right, progress on my Batiste dry shampoo. This is in the scent Eden. I haven't been using dry shampoo as much as I used to because since I've cut my hair a bit shorter, I actually just find it easier to wash my hair than to put a lot of this in it. But I have made progress because I tend to go through dry shampoo really fast. This was at 156.07 grams. It's now at 118.04 grams. So again, I've made a lot of progress on this. I think these bottles, they're roughly about 50 grams. So if I'm doing it at that rate, this will only take me a couple months to use up. So very good, very good. I'm actually really surprised that I'm making as much progress that I have been because again, I've probably been wearing a full face of makeup maybe once a week, maximum twice if I decide to film. I sort of film every second week for my channel. And then maybe 2 times a week, I'll put a little tiny bit on. So whether it's a powder foundation or a powder brows and mascara, like only a couple of times a week I'll do that. So I'm surprised I'm actually making some decent progress here. I'm relieved. But onto the products that I haven't seen a noticeable difference on. I will take progress photos of them, but there's no point actually like showing you much about them. I've got my MAC Fluidline in, this is in Past Twilight. I'm wearing it today because I put it on for my review, but prior to that, I think I've only worn it maybe once or twice, so not much progress there. The lipstick that I introduced last month, I was really keen to wear this more, but again, we got to the point of having to wear masks, so there's no point me wearing this at all. I don't want to wear it around the house, and when I go out, I'm not wearing a lip product. So, and when I accidentally do wear a lip product, it gets on the inside of your mask. It's really gross. So there's barely any progress there. Same as my lip gloss. Sorry, this was Too Faced. Sorry, all the products that I talk about will be listed in the description box. So if I'm really vague, you can check them out there. But this is the Too Faced lipstick in Strip Search, and this is the Bite French Press Lip Gloss in Salted Caramel. I'm wearing this today over a lip liner, so there's a little bit more pigmentation going on because I've got a lip liner underneath, which is a Colourpop one in, shit, I'll have to put it in the description box because I forgot what it's called. But yeah, this has been my sort of handbag lip gloss, but again, I haven't been able to apply it when I'm out. I haven't been going out, so this one, there's very little progress. I've maybe used it 2 or 3 times. When it comes to my stick highlighter, this is Hourglass Vanish Champagne Flash. I really like this, but I don't think there'll be any progress because when I do use it, I literally just put it on my finger and tap it on, and there won't be noticeable differences enough. I will try to use this a lot more when I can actually go out and see people, and there's a point of wearing makeup. Right now, the only time I wear a noticeable amount of makeup is when I'm filming. I've also got my Nabla. This is the micro brow pencil, so it's a Brow Divine in the shade Neptune. I am wearing a little bit today just to add a little bit of dimension, a little bit of like mimic some hairs, but I don't do that too often on a daily basis, so there's not much noticeable difference there. And the eyeliner that I've introduced, the Endless Silky Eye Pen from Pixie in the shade Matte Mulberry. I think I've sharpened this once. So again, there's really not much noticeable difference there. So I think that's all the proper products that I've talked about. If I've missed anything, whoops-a-daisy. But on to the samples. So I did give myself like half a dozen samples to use up, and I'm happy to say I used them all. It was actually really fun having little samples that are easy to work through. It's a good way to sort of try different things, you know, and then just, I don't know, feel accomplished when you use them up. First thing, I used up these 3 Secret Key Lemon Sparkling Peeling Gel. I quite liked this. The only problem with this product is that you have to apply it on clean, dry skin. So I often forget. So if I've washed my face, I've got out of the shower, whatever it is, I don't then think of re-washing my face. It's like the second wash. But I actually finished one of these this morning because I was like, oh, I said I was going to use 3 and I only used 2. So I did it. I got through them. I do like the product, but again, it's not really one that suits my routine very well. Then I used up this Dermalogica. This is the Rapid Reveal Peel. So this was a peel treatment. You put it on and it's like just a one-use treatment. So this is the little tube there. I used this probably, I think, in the first week of the month, and it was all right. It's supposed to be a professional grade at-home peel. It didn't actually make my skin peel, which is what it is. But yeah, I used it. I used up this really fast. So this was the Better Skin Co. Miracle Cream. It was just a moisturizer. I used it day and night, only for a couple of days. Then I used the Clinique Dramatically Different Hydrating Jelly. I just, again, use this day and night really easily. Use it up. And the Alabache Eternal Beautifying Eye Cream. This one, I think, took a little while to use up. It was 3 mils. And I used it over probably a couple of weeks. The one that I hated the most was the Luxury Hair Oil. This was by Rodin, and I didn't like this. It made my hair really waxy feeling. It didn't feel like it sunk into the hair. It just sort of made my hair feel really, yeah, like I've just taken melted wax and put it in my hair. It was not nice. So I ended up using this up by putting it in my hair before I washed it as like a pre-wash treatment. So Hated this, would not purchase that. But I do have a bunch of samples that I want to get through this time around. I do have a blackhead strip. It's just a blackhead strip. I've got the New Face Prep and Glow. This is a cleanse, exfoliate and hydrate. It's one cloth, so it's one application, so easy to use. I've got the Shea Moisture. This is the Curl and Shine shampoo, and it's the Curl Enhancing Smoothie. So this is a lot bigger. This is 15 mils, this is 30 mils, and this is actually a leave-in treatment. So I feel like this would be 1 or 2 uses, and this would be a lot more uses because I don't have much hair. And I don't like putting too much product in my hair because it makes it sort of too weighed down. So I'm going to try to use these, which is going to be good because I've looked at buying more from Shea Moisture, but I wasn't sure what to buy. So I'll be able to try these and let you know what I think about them. And when I see a hair care sale at Priceline, I'll buy some. I've got a couple of sachets from Dermalogica. This is the Bio Lumen C Serum. So it's a brightening C serum that looks like it's only one use. And then I have a couple of, well, 3. This is the Calm Water Gel Moisturizer. So again, this looks like it's a few uses, probably 1 use per sachet. So I'll use this over a few days. And the last thing is the Effaclar Duo. This is a little mini one from La Roche-Posay. I was keeping this little one for if I was going like overnight or a weekend away, because that's enough moisturizer for a couple of days. But because I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, I may as well use it up. All right, so that's my update for my project pan for the start of August. Slow going, but there is still some progress, and I feel like the body products is where I'm going to really see the progress because I can't really leave the house, which is a bummer. So hopefully you guys are doing better than I am with your project pans. If you're doing a project pan, if you're struggling with using makeup, I hear you, it's very hard, especially lip products with masks. Maybe just roll in some more sort of easier things like minis or samples or skincare products that you can use. I'm finding that's where I'm seeing most of my progress. So that might be a good way to sort of just feel like you're getting a lot more progress than you are with your makeup, because it is a weird time to even try to wear makeup. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.